The FBI says Conor Climo had guns and was planning to bomb a synagogue and a bar, too. The FBI saying he was part of a white supremacist group. He allegedly used hateful and homophobic slurs. Climo was arrested and arraigned in federal court on Friday. His charges include possessing illegal firearms and bomb-making materials. We have team coverage for you tonight. Cynthia Maldonado speaking to one of Climo's former classmates as well as some of his neighbors. But first, Sean Delancey is live now outside of Climo's home with how the targeted communities are reacting tonight. Sean.
Ross, there is a lot of fear in the valley tonight, not because of Conor Climo himself, but because the white supremacist ideology official says he held is still out there right now. Explosive and disturbing new details about Conor Climo's last few months have emerged in court documents after his arrest Friday. The criminal complaint details his plans to attack the valley's Jewish and LGBTQ communities. According to the FBI, Climo specifically mentioned the Anti-Defamation League regional offices on 215 and Eastern as a target.
The first thing that went through my head is how thankful I was for law enforcement.
Regional Director Jolie Brislin says the threat is serious, but it's one ADL employees will face proudly.
The emotion is that we're doing something right? Because if the bad guys liked us, we wouldn't be doing the right thing.
They will need to stay vigilant. Climo's complaint says he was a member of a white supremacist neo-Nazi group called the Führerkrieg Division, a splinter of the Atomwaffen Division.
Anti-Semitic, homophobic, and racist ideology and rhetoric is on a rise.
Prosecutors say Climo became a member because the group was interested in his knowledge of bomb making. Climo was the only arrest, instilling fear in members of the LGBTQ community who frequent bars in the valley.
You're like, oh my God, I have to worry for my friends and myself. And I mean, yeah, you could just be like out living your life and, you know, have some crazy person come in and like kill everybody for some twisted, hateful reason.
Amanda O'Hara says the rise of white supremacist violence has been hard to watch, but she thought it was something that happened far from her.
When it's so close to home and it's right here, I don't even really know how to describe it.
Brislin says there's really only one option for people now. The groups are out there, and being powerless against them is unacceptable.
I think that when we see something, we speak up. You know, even if we think it doesn't affect us personally, but when we see hate, when we hear hate, we check people.
At the time of his arrest, Climo was working for a company called, as a security guard for a company called Allied Universal. That business has now suspended him, and if convicted, he could face up to 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Sean Delancey, 13 Action News.
Sean, thanks. And Sean's investigation didn't end there. He also found an undercover FBI informant first contacted Climo in May of this year, posing as a far-right ally. The FBI says the conversations lasted through July, and in them, Climo described in detail how he could build incendiary bombs for use on synagogues where he would like to attack, and how much he wanted to carry out an attack. During a raid on his home, authorities found a notebook with several hand-drawn schematics for a potential Las Vegas area attack. The notebook also contained drawings of timed explosive devices. Now, we do want to stress that a complaint is merely an allegation, and the defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law.